everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today we are going to do a flip through my reading journal so far. This will be showing the pages in the front of the book as well as where we're up to now in June. Today I'm filming this on the 19th of June and hopefully we'll have it up in the next day or two so you'll be able to see where I am at in live time. If you're new here and haven't seen the official flip through of the front pages of this book, I will link everything below in the description for you, but this video is more so of a progress report to see how I'm getting on and how the year is looking so far, midway point of 2022. So let's get started. Here is my Goodreads challenge. I am currently up to 114 books. I hit 100 books in May, so I definitely think I will hit my 200 goal. As you can see, I am actually set up till 240. That was my original goal. I stepped back and thought maybe 200 would be a better choice, and maybe I'm still going to make this one. We'll see how the year continues on, but right now I'm ahead in my schedule, and I do apologise if you hear any noises in the background. My dog has decided that right now is the time to play with her toy, but let's hope she'll be quiet for a little bit longer. I have not yet filled in the top 22 of 2022. That is something I'm going to be doing at the end of the year. And as I mentioned in my first quarter flip through of this book, the anticipated dates calendar was not working for me. All the dates got changed around, so I actually do this on my Google Calendar now, so I won't be adding this into my 2023 setup. Well, I might, but in a different way. I'm not too sure at the moment, but I don't use this page, so I don't see the point in putting it in the future. But we have been using this page a great deal. The first bookshelf is complete. I was so excited when I finished this, and here's the little ladder. If you don't know, it moves. Has my little color code on the background. Sorry, on the back of it. The system did end up changing. So originally I was only doing for the first 5 stars, so 1 to 5. I didn't do half stars in my planning, and next year I will definitely be doing that because I ended up with a lot more half star reads than in any other year. So I've actually gone through and I've marked, I don't think I've done it on this page. Yes, I have been. I've been marking half stars in the bottom of the yes, like in here, in the bottom part of the book, just to showcase that that's a 3.5, not a 3, for example. So yeah, this is the first page completely full, and then the second page, where we're up to right now. I'm still obviously reading 3 books at the moment, so they will add here very quickly. We've still got the extra bookcase just in case, and the space here if we need to do a skinny one as well. I'm really not sure how many books I'm going to read this year. I have exceeded my expectations already. This here was a new addition, and I showed it in my first quarter flip through. It is a pixel in the year sort of setup, and I just marked down how many books I read each day, or if I didn't read that day. As you can see, the majority is either 2 or 1 book, but there are a few days where I've read 3 or more as well, so that they tend to be buddy read days. So I am very excited to see how the rest of this year is going. So June has been a quiet month so far for reading. It's the month that I decided to mood read in, and I have been a lot slower at reading this month, but I'm still enjoying it, so it'll be very interesting to see how it lines up next to the rest of the months that are here so far. Here is my series tracker, and it's getting full. I have read quite a few series. I've crossed out one that I didn't want to continue on with, but the rest are all here. This one I am no longer reading, so yeah, I think that's about it. I've marked all the ones that I've completed with this orange colour, and it looks a little messy, so in the future I'd like to have sort of a setup where I can mark that along like the side or something. This definitely was a work in progress. If you remember from the beginning when I set this up in my first video for this book, it was just blank and I had no idea what I was going to do. It just looked like this. And this is what I came up with so far. It's not too bad, it has been working, but also sometimes authors change their amount of books. So like here with this one, this is now a 5-part series, not a trilogy anymore, so thankfully that's not going to happen this year, so it doesn't matter too much, but just little things like that have cropped up and it's not a very flexible page, so I do need to think about how I'm going to set it up next year. This is my 2022 stats page. It's very self-explanatory. It just has a bunch of stats. I don't really look at it, to be honest. I think it's one of those things that are there for the end of the year. I really just don't know how much this page is going to be beneficial on a long-term sort of situation. It's just a very much so a stats page, and I don't really look at it at all. But it'll be interesting at the end of the year to see how all this functions and if I need to add anything else in. I definitely track each month more than what is in these boxes now, so maybe next year I'll just change that. I'm not too sure. Here is 2 pages that I didn't think that I would use lots. As you can see, I filled in the arcs page completely and I've got a second one now. And this one's interesting because I haven't really DNF'd much this year, which is great. I don't try to DNF books, but there's been a few recently, so I've been marking along this spine here what month I DNF'd them in, because I realised I didn't put down a date space. So that is something that I would like to change in the future. Here is my own TBR page set up, and I don't like it. I mentioned when I very first set this up that I was going to colour code, so the books that I read in 2021 were going to be a different colour. I ended up forgetting that and doing the same colour all the way through. So these colours here are the ones that I didn't want to read anymore. We brought that series, and we being my best friend and I, and we didn't like it, so I'm not going to read it at all, so that's why it's coloured in this way. But other than that, no other books have ended up in that pile. So yeah, it's not really working, but I'm quite happy with the progress so far. I want to go through and read the books in the orders down here to try and fill them all in, because it would be a nice goal to have my TBR looking a lot better than this, because right now there's quite a few gaps. I also think that I'm going to need another page very soon, because June is my birthday month and I've gotten quite a few books. I haven't written them down yet. I do that at the end of each month, and I think we'll be down to here, and obviously there's 6 more months to go, so there will definitely be a second page for this set up later on. I haven't done any rereads yet, but from tomorrow onwards my very first buddy read that I'm hosting will be of a reread. We're doing Howl's Moving Castle, so that will be the first one of the year. And as we get closer to the rest of the books that I'm really enjoying reading from last year coming out with their sequels, I'll be rereading a lot of them, so they'll be all down here as well. I'm really happy with how my challenge is getting on with the Jennifer L. Armentrout books. I've read a great deal more since I started this, and I'm now at a point where I don't really know what to read. Obviously I'm still in the reading the Blood and Ash series. Forget the from, it shouldn't be there. And I do have to start picking up the Origin series. I've been really holding out until we get a distinct date for book 4 before I delve right into that world, because I know I'm going to love it. But I've just got her standalone series, standalones to read, her D. Vincent series to read, but I'm actually probably not going to read that. It's really not up my alley. And this series here, the Frigid and Scorch. Yeah, other than that, I think I'm doing pretty well with getting through all of her books. And I want to kind of do this with other authors as well throughout this book, since I've got so many more pages left. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Last 2 pages for the front of the book. The A to Z challenge is almost complete. I only have 3 books to read. If anyone can give me a recommendation for a book that starts with Z, that's either a fantasy or a romance, or fantasy romance book, I would be greatly appreciative. I can't seem to find anything. And I have read The Prison Healer, and I will be reading Only a Monster. So Only a Monster can take O, but I have no idea what I'm going to read that starts with P, unless I pick up Pride and Prejudice this year. But who knows, we'll just see. I'm trying really hard not to use words that have the in the front. I've done it twice, the malevolence mark and the Queen of Nothing, but other than that I really don't want to do it again. So yeah, that's the 3 books left, and then I've only got a small handful of books to read from my list of 22 books from 2022 in 2022, so I'm really happy with how that's getting on. So let's look in the monthly chapters of this book. So here's January. If you watched my quarter flip through, first quarter flip through, you'll have seen this already, so we'll get through this pretty quick, but I was never really happy with how this turned out. And this was when I very first started trying to figure out how I wanted my monthly setups to look. Quite happy with how I've evolved from this, but I think it was a great start as well. And then we've got our collage for the end of the month, and I've continued this through, so that's the one thing that's quite cohesive. Here is February, and it was a beach theme or a mermaid theme. I forgot to say that the first one was just kind of a floral one. I really liked this one. I remember I quite enjoyed it. So again, the same sort of thing, and I started doing my summary down here, which has evolved and will be evolving further as the book continues. I also participated in Faro Feb, so here is that setup. And then March, it was a bright colours theme. All of these setups before the pen touched it are all up on the channel as well, so you can check those out. This is when I started to do, was it this month or was it the month before? No, I started it here in February, so this was when I tried doing the calendar style where the top half would be the books that I read that day, and then the bottom half would be my social media posts, and that confused a lot of people who followed this channel. Even though I felt like it was quite cohesive for me, it definitely was something that threw a lot of people, and so I've changed that. But also I like what I'm doing now a bit better. And here we start with the buddy reads that I started doing or participating in, and some arcs down here as well, so that started really filling in the pages a bit more. And we're still doing that setup. Again, the summary always looked really messy to me, so that's why I've changed it. And the collage. And here's April, the month that had 2 books that I couldn't decide which was my favourite. And again, I think this was actually my favourite setup so far because of the colour scheme. I really just liked how pretty and natural it looked. I'm really in the mood for browns at the moment, which you'll see in July when I finally get to set it up, because I've got all the supplies ready to go. I actually wanted to film this before I started showing anything extra in this book. And this here was when my my printer was playing up and it wouldn't stop printing with a pink filter. I fixed it, it needed a head clean for it, so that's why everything's pink. But again, I just really didn't like this summary setup, so I changed it in May, and this will probably be my second favourite setup for the year so far. I really liked the colour scheme again, and I love this font. And again, the same setup, buddy reads, TBR, prompts and arcs. And you can see this is where I started to have less time to read. I only got to 16 books last month, and I think I'm doing worse this month actually. And here's how I changed my stats page. Now ignore these because I'm not doing them again in the future. I absolutely hate them. I was really inspired by a friend. I mentioned it in the monthly wrap-up video. And she does pie charts in hers as well, but I don't like them. So it'll be all of this, but without this on the side. It doesn't help that the colours weren't very great to choose from, but I really do like the setup of this, so I will be continuing it on in future months. It's just easier to look at the stats here, and you notice, oh gosh, I've got blue on my hand. I don't know where that came from. You'll notice that Where are we? Ah yes, back here I didn't even bother to fill in the stats, and you'll see in June I don't even put it down. So yeah, I think that must have come off of there. Oh, it did. How interesting. Well, that's pleasant. I'll try not to put that on the pages that are to come. I also took participated in another readathon, and this was just the setup for that. And here is a little divider. I put this little bit of washi tape down the side to show that these were more setup pages. So here's my arcs continued. I have to write down some more, so I have to tick off 2. We'll do that together really quickly because otherwise I will forget that I have read them already, and I've got another 2 to put down. I get behind a lot lately. It's just something that I need to fill in at the time when I've got some time. And then I did a quick birthday page. I won't leave on that because it actually has people's birthdays on it and I don't want them to be shared. So here is June. This is the month we're in right now. As you can see, I still haven't done what my favorite book is of the month because we're not finished yet. And this is where I changed everything up for this monthly view setup. So we've got a new calendar style here where it's just where I'm reading, and I normally had a bar down here that said days read, or it meant like what I read in that day, and I've put those little boxes up into here, and that little guide is here, the key for that of the colors. So it is working. I admit that I don't remember to fill in the boxes. I've just gone through and filled them all in before filming this. So yeah, it's working, but I do need to make some changes. I need to add more books down here because I've got a lot more now. And social media posts, I have been really slack because we've had an unfortunate passing of one of our animals. So yeah, I didn't really use my social media for the last week or so. It's a bit of a shame, but I do like the setup. It gives me enough space to write down all the things that I'm posting on Instagram, and I also need to put something down for this channel on here somehow, but that's something to play around with in July. I'm really happy with how it's turning out though. I definitely have enough room to write down all the books I'm reading, so that's been quite helpful. And as you can see, that you'll find if I'm like before I come to the camera, you'll find that I'll have this is how it looked before I set it up. So this is how my weeks normally look. I have a little list of what I want to do for social media before I put it on here when I have done it. So this is like always here, and obviously I didn't do any of that this week, so I will be setting that up after this video for this week here coming, what I'm going to hopefully be posting, because I've finally got photos and everything ready to go. As you can see here, I'm not doing great with my TBR. I haven't read a single book off of it this month, but this was the month where I said that I would be doing mood reading, so I don't really see myself ever sticking to a TBR when I mood read. It's a bit pointless, isn't it? I also got library books out for the first time ever, and or since starting this channel, and also my Instagram, and I'm currently making my way through that. I'm reading A Rogue of One's Own at the moment, and I don't think I'm going to get through how many are there? There's 7, isn't there? Yes, so I think I'll get through 4 of them, maybe 5, but I don't think I'm going to get through the whole 3 of these books by Kerri Maniscalco, the Stalking the Jack the Ripper series. I think I'll read book 1 and see if I really like it. Hopefully I'll be able to renew the series, but if not, that's okay. I can always get it somewhere else. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this Evie Dunmore series though, the League of Extraordinary Women. I'm really liking it. So anyway, back to this side, buddy reads. I am currently reading 𝓤𝓱𝓮𝓻 Vacation, and mine starts tomorrow, so I'm very excited, and I need to add those 2 more arcs to here. I'm just behind, just admittedly. And then as you can see, I've only read 9 books, but I've got 3 on the go at the minute. Actually, I think 4, but that is where we're up to. I do have the stats page, but like I mentioned in my monthly wrap up for, what was it? For last month, May, sorry. I'm going to do that setup, where is it? That one, without the pie charts. So because I've set it up here, I'm not sure, sorry my desk makes a noise, whether or not I will slap something over top of this or glue those pages together and start again. I don't know. This is just a stencil, so it'll be very easy to do, and I can just pull this up. But yeah, I'm not going to use this setup. It doesn't work, and I definitely don't think I'll get to 20 books this month, so I could always just put it here and then cover this with decorative paper and then stick my collage over top. But that is enough rambling for one day. That is the end of this flip through. Thank you so much for joining me today. I do have a request to show how to do, where are they? These covers, so I can stick them into my book, and I will show how that's done in a video very, very soon. But otherwise, look out for my TBR jar prompt video that will be coming at the end of the month, and also before that, my July setup. I will give you a hint. I got a new paper pack. I know I really need to stop buying paper packs, but I got this really cool paper pack for my birthday from my mum, and I'm going to be using, let's see if I can find it. It's just really pretty. And this one here, I might just leave it on there. This one here, and it actually has a gold foiled version as well. I don't think that's getting picked up very well. Let's see. There. So I'm going to use those two papers and hopefully set something up. And I also got, I shouldn't be giving away too much, but I also got, where are we? Some new inks. I don't think I'll be using that colour. It'll be the other one. But I'm really intrigued to use this one here. Gothic purple, so that will match with that paper really well. And I've gotten some brown Faber-Castell pens. So you can look forward to this being July's setup. I wanted to go dark for July because I haven't gone dark yet in this book. But that is enough of me rambling and showing you what's to come. I hope that you're enjoying seeing my journal. I really do enjoy sharing it with you all, and I'm actually playing around with the idea of creating one for you, one person to enjoy that's not me, for 2023. So if you'd like to see that process, let me know, and I will definitely share videos of setting that up. But until then, I hope that you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are. I hope that you're reading something amazing, and if you're not, I hope the next book that you pick up is amazing, and I hope you all have a wonderful June. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you for another one of these flip throughs for the third quarter of the year, because this is the second one. I cannot believe we are halfway through 2022 already. Bye everyone.